Hey everybody, so I got a chance to check out a early build of Watch Dogs Legion. I got a bunch of hands-on time. Now this is a sponsored video, so thank you to Ubisoft. I'm going to avoid giving like opinions and more focus on just showcasing what the game is and what it's all about. You know, people tend to be wary of opinions and sponsored content, which is totally understandable. That's a reasonable concern. So let's just focus on showing the game and talking about the game. And if you guys do like what you see, there's a link in the description below. You can click on that to check out the game or pre-order it for yourself. So one of the big things with Watch Dogs Legions is that you can play as anybody. Now I started off as this like middle-aged spy woman, and I checked my roster and I had access to this hacktivist, and it's really cool because she has a utility, a combat hack, and she has an invisibility, which you'll see once we get into some combat scenarios. But I did a couple of play sessions, and basically it seems randomized who you start as and who's on your team, and anyone in the environment. That's kind of the big thing with this game. Anyone in the environment will have different abilities, and you can ask them to join and fight and become a playable character for you.
I hope you're not doing anything important. You've been activated.
Good to go.
Now, of course, what would this game be without some fashion? So first thing I did upon selecting my new main character for this play session was get her a good outfit. You know, she's got quite a unique style. She's got the neck tattoos and, you know, all the hairstyle. Like, it's really, she's got some personality, right? So I wanted an outfit to match, and honestly I think I did a bang up job. I think this is pretty good. Now, the first thing I wanted to do, I didn't want to jump straight into the main mission. The first thing I actually wanted to do was to recruit a new person to my team, and you can see we've got these little recruitment icons on the map, and I wanted to go for the hitman. And, you know, it wouldn't be an open world modern day game without the ability to just steal any vehicle that you see and take off with it. So anyone walking around you can recruit, but there are also these particular missions that you can do, the ones that are marked on the map. So for this particular character, in order to recruit him, I have to complete a few tasks. Anyone that I'm going by here, we could try to recruit to our team of resistance heroes, and everyone's going to have their own characteristics, things that make them strong in certain situations. Like you'll have people that are really good at brawling or gunfights or sneaking around, and that's kind of another neat thing as well. Depending on their occupation, they will have outfits that allow them to be stealthy in certain locations. So it's pretty neat. There's like a lot of it adds a lot of flexibility to your playstyle. Now, I'm primarily keeping and playing as this hack lady just because I was having fun doing it, but there are pretty huge benefits to like switching up and playing as different characters that you recruit in the environment. All right, so I'm at my first location to try to complete this mission and hire this character, this professional hitman, and this is going to be like my first infiltration. This is one of my favorite things about open world games. You know, you're sneaking around, you're checking out the environment, you start off with a little bit of scouting, and then I just go, I do this like with every open world game. Sneak in, scout out, and then go around and do stealth kills. I'm sure a lot of people play like that, but I don't do the whole guns blazing thing. You've got stealth takedown abilities. You can see I'm using my invisibility there, so sneak up to them and just take them out. And then you've got this cloaking that you can do. So sometimes when you do a stealth kill, you're able to instantly shroud them. The ability is called Shroud, but if you take someone out, I guess in normal combat, you actually have to manually go up to them and do the Shroud interaction. Like maybe this guy, yeah, so since I didn't stealth kill him, I have to Shroud him after the fact. But yeah, trying to do the stealth kills and stuff. So this panel I had to do in order to access the little box in that room over there. And what'll happen is you go up to a thing, and if you need to power it or unlock like the security, there'll be a connector to show you where that particular thing is, and that's basically what I had done there. So you see these cameras here with the red lasers. They're, for the most part, they're gonna detect you. You can't hack them manually unless you find one of these switches like this one here. And then once I do that, I'm able to go up to the terminal, hack the rootkit, and I have completed the first of two objectives in order to recruit this guy. So this part of the game feels like, I don't know if they intended this to work this way, but this feels like the way to play this game. They have these cargo drones that you can hack and ride. Now, admittedly, they're pretty darn slow, like compared to traveling on the ground in a vehicle. It takes a while to traverse a distance with this thing because just its speed isn't that great. However, it's got full vertical movement, so you can get yourself on top of buildings to particular locations and just bypass the whole process of having to find your way in, find a secret hatch into a building and sneak your way around. And especially when it comes to grabbing the collectibles, using these cargo drones, it was just freaking hilarious. It felt like I was cheating. So the next part in the mission was to head on over here and talk to this witness, because apparently the hitman that we were looking to hire got himself into some trouble.
That was the craziest shit I ever saw, fam. This guy runs in, yeah, and he just starts beating the fuck out of them proper hench gangsters. Took down like a dozen before they managed to knock him out and drag him inside.
Shit.
He's being interrogated, and this is going to be our second little combat encounter. So we're just going to take some guys out, do a little shotgun thing. It's also funny, I believe the weapons for this lady are non-lethal. They're like these electric rounds. They're apparently supposed to be all stun weapons. I don't know. I mean, it looks like I'm destroying these people's lives, but who knows what's really happening. So after protecting him from the interrogation, we made our way out. So now Operative Valentine is he's a new playable character. You can see he's got some cool combat abilities, instant gun takedown. He's got some good weapons. But even though I went through all that process to recruit him, I'm going to stay in character. We're going to keep playing the hacktivist. And I know I went through the whole process of acquiring this brand new character to the team, but I want to play my hack lady. You know, it's so good. I gotta stay in character. Back on the cargo drone I go, and on to the next mission. So I'm gonna actually move on to one of the two main story missions at this point, and I think I do this one, and then I do some more basic stuff in the town. I actually liberate the zone that we're in. And I realized as well that my cargo drone had taken a little bit of damage. So there are these little call-in spots. Like you'll see all sorts of drones, the cargo drones, the anti-riot drones, and all that stuff. You'll see them kind of moving around the environment, but there's also particular locations for like these cargo drones that you can just summon them straight in. What's an open world game with hacking capabilities? If you don't take advantage and cause a ruckus. So as I'm flying by, I'll like disable some of the news drones that are moving by, or maybe I'll disrupt traffic a little bit. You know, just because it's funny. Maybe that makes me an evil person. I don't know, but isn't that kind of the fun of these open world games? You get to do things you wouldn't do in real life. Right? Is that how it works? I don't know. Well, now we're getting a little too deep here. All right, so on to my first major mission, which is the whistleblower, and they ask me to investigate this distress signal, which brings me down to this little cafe, and well, let's see what happens here.
And who is this?
Not important. What matters is that I have inside information on SIRS, and I believe the people who framed you are rogue officers. Loath as I am to say it, DedSec may be my only hope to stop them.
Okay, we can talk, but no promises, yeah?
Good.
So we head on over to this construction site looking for our contact, and, well, things didn't go so well for him. And in order to try to figure out what happened over here, we got to do one of these, I guess you call them mini puzzles. It's basically like the rerouting of power or access to an area, and they've got these little I don't know what they are, not terminals. These little things you got to rotate, these connectors, that's probably what they're called. You got to rotate the connectors in order to reroute access or power, and then that let me open the door and get access to the footage. And that's when we realized, not surprisingly, that the person we're trying to find is being held captive and is in interrogation. So then we moved into another area infiltration. It's also worth noting, too, that some people on your team will have kind of a camo in an area, depending on their default outfit. Like I had a construction worker on my team, so I could technically walk around here in stealth as the construction worker. You know, what's the fun in that when I could stay the hacktivist and, you know, drop boxes and freak everybody out in the area and then take everyone out. So I decided to go with that route. There seem to be a lot of environmental traps as well, these little hazards that you can hack, and then it basically acts as a proximity mine. So there'll be a proximity around it where if any of the NPCs walk to trigger it, then it's gonna shock them and take them out. But the traps are fun and all, but I like doing the manual takedowns. So I'll walk up to people, take them down. Just don't do it too early like I did there, because then you might end up almost getting yourself caught. It seems though even if you get spotted, if you take him down quick enough, that it's no problem. It'll still count as a stealth kill. So in order to get into the room, I had to download this key. So I just hack the camera here, and then I download the key, and that gives me the code. So I can open the door and talk to our informant. So at this point, I had the choice to move on and do the next part in the main mission. But I decided instead, because I could just go through story beat by story beat, but I decided to liberate the starting zone that I began in. So I'm not going to do the main mission, and the rest of the playthrough is going to be me going through the liberation process, which basically there will be a checklist of different things you need to complete, and once you do them all, it culminates in like this final mission. But first, what's for a little bit of distraction? Lots of mini games and stuff in this game, and one of them are these parcel Fox locations. It's like Uber Eats or something like that, like personalized delivery service. So you have a package you pick up in a location, and then there'll be varying distances, and to correlate with those distances are a higher reward in currency. And if you make it there on time, if you deliver it quick enough, it doesn't matter if you crash or not, apparently. If you deliver it quick enough, you get a little bit of currency, and that can be spent on different things like cosmetics in the game. Interesting. I didn't see much besides cosmetics, like outfit stuff to buy, but there's probably some other vendors as well, besides cosmetic vendors. Maybe there's weapon vendors. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see. But anywho, let's go ahead and move on to the next part in the liberation process, and that's going to be defacing this skyscraper. Now, once I got here, I realized, you know what? Why go through the whole process of trying to climb up there? Why not find myself another one of those cargo drones? But fortunately, there was one nearby. I hop in the construction location. Got spotted a little bit, and they have these little anti-hack measures where they will basically take control back. So I managed to bypass that, fortunately, though, with my stealth ability. So I went stealth, waited for them to forget that someone was trying to steal their cargo drone, took it, and then just easily made my way up. Now, I'll admit, doing this might be taking away some of the fun for some people. For me, it adds to the fun. I just think it's hilarious. And with that, we completed one of the major checkpoints in liberating this area. I didn't like this. This guy was beating the crap out of someone, so I decided to do something about it. Accidentally shot the hostage in the process and put myself on alert against the authorities. But we've got the cargo drone, so I just hop in and just avoid detection until that threat level drops. But yeah, you'll notice if you do something illegal and you get caught, you'll build up this threat, this 5-star threat. So next up in the checklist for freeing this zone is to sabotage this location. It's like this little manufacturing plant. I did a really bad job of stealthily sneaking in, but again, taking full advantage of my cloak ability. And then it's time to kind of clear out the base and sabotage the location. Unfortunately, I made myself known almost instantly. I mean, this is really, for me, this is some of the most fun stuff in open world games. Clearing out bases. I feel like there's a lot of like people who don't like it because it's a lot of the same thing. You go in and you either go stealth or you go guns blazing, kill a couple guys, interact with like the alarm system or whatever, and then control the base. But I always find it fun. I think no matter the open world game, using the mechanics and systems in the game to try to find ways to craftily or sneakily take down these encampments, these outposts, I enjoy it. I still enjoy it to this day. I know some people are tired of it, but I have fun with it. So yeah, we do the thing. We sneak, we take people out, and then eventually once the area is cleared or we're back in stealth, we complete our objective here. So after completing all the check marks, you have then the big final mission. But before we do that, I wanted to play a little kick-up. So this is one of the various mini games that they have in the environment. It's just basically, it's almost like a quick time event where you have to just time the different inputs between left and right bumper and trigger, and then all the face buttons and all that. I got the timing down really poorly to start, but eventually I got the hang of it, and, you know, I'm not going to say I'm good, but I got better. I just think it's kind of fun to have these little different mini games and things that sort of, I guess, break up general cadence of play, if you will. So my final objective in order to liberate this region was to sneak into this Nexus Tower and disrupt operations. And this is like the culminating event. You know, we do all these little things, we sabotage this plant, we deface this tower, and now we go into like their central hub. So this is a large building, it's heavily fortified, and, you know, unfortunately, as much as I loved showing it to you guys, there's no cheesing this location by just sneaking up to the top floor, because it involves going through the particular doors on the inside, and that actually pushes you into loading screens to go to these like different areas to complete these various objectives. So what do? Well, you go in, you find the security cameras, you try to bypass the different areas, try to stealthily take down some enemies, and you know, it's another zone clear. Essentially, it's just a lot denser of an area. There's a lot more security cameras and drones, there's a lot more people, and there are various puzzles and stuff that you have to solve. I start off here early on taking full advantage of being able to hack the patrol drones. So, you know, move around, scout, use the cameras, try to find different security things, like I can disable these little walls here. There was also these strategically placed grates that were allowing me to block a line of sight from the turrets here. So, you know, take those out. In general, like, the process is the same, whether or not I'm trying to infiltrate and liberate a small area or a big massive base like this. I find this part of open world games enjoyable. I like the process of trying to make my way through and sneak around guards and security systems and all of that. All right, so I have officially gained access to this little security room, and my next objective is to make my way in. Taking down the spotter drone before I try to sneak across. I did a bad job of sneaking, but invisibility to the rescue, and up the elevator that we go. So using that elevator brought me into the silos, and this brought us to what is the final section of this little zone freedom mission of mine. And it was an interesting little mini game. Basically, I got access to this drone, and I had to make my way through these kind of, I guess, this maze, if you will. Like, there are these steam vents that can hurt my drone. I had to find my way through these different silos without trying to get damaged. And then, at the end of it, I had to sneak my way past a variety of guards, as well as these laser security systems, which, if I tripped, would alert all of the guards in the area and have them hunting towards me. So this was a cool little, again, it's... I don't know. I feel like a lot of these open world games, they just basically boil down to me doing a lot of stealth missions, but you know what? That's kind of how I enjoy playing them. So now, instead of sneaking around as my character, I'm sneaking around as a drone, making my way through these laser fences. I did a bad job there. And then once I got to this area, I had to hack a key off of one of the guards. I found the guard who had the key, downloaded the key, and then I could open the gate. And once I made my way in there, I was able to pick up the cargo, and then I had to go through the process of making my way all the way back. So after grabbing the device and making my way all the way back to the beginning of the maze, I then dropped it into the core, and then the big kaboom. The zone has been officially liberated. You see everyone's happy, setting off fireworks, and that is pretty much it. I think that's a pretty good showcase of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of gameplay. I think we're coming up on about 20 minutes here. You know, I had a good time with it, but I think what's more important is you getting a good look, a good chunk of the game, the different elements and the different aspects of it. Again, thank you to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. If you guys liked it and you want to check out the game, again, there's that link in the description below for you to learn more or pre-order it yourself. And yeah, there you go. That is Watch Dogs Legion. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you later.